I'm 1 month into my forest floor gardening experiment, and it's either the best decision I've ever made, or I may have ruined my garden. 2 months ago, my garden was completely overrun with weeds. So I came up with this forest floor gardening experiment for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to get rid of the plastic. I used to do plastic row covers all the time, and I wasn't gonna do that anymore. And the second thing is that I really wanted to do like an organic mulch and something that kind of feeds in this natural forest floor thing for my garden. Okay, I'm a crazy hippie. There you get it. So my husband put in 4 dump truck loads of mulch, which I don't recommend that much because that was so much work. But anyway, it took me a month to get it spread out. And I have 6 to 12 inches of mulch spread across the garden. It's not completely even because it was more work than I had bargained for, but that's not the point. I did get the garden planted, and we're about a month into this experiment. And I have to say the results are good and the results are really bad. So let's start the win, because it's actually like kind of a huge one. In this row, I planted nasturtium, shallots, beets, sunflowers, and maybe something else, I don't remember. And you'll see there are like no weeds. I could probably weed my whole garden in under 10 minutes a week. That part is kind of amazing, and I wasn't expecting such good results. It's really wonderful. I think the only weeds that I'm really gonna have come in are the grass, the quackgrass that kind of grows around the edges, which we have a lot of here, and any burdock. I have a ton of burdock, plus any seeds that blow in onto the surface, which I can manage. And weeding it is so easy because weeds have to travel so far through the 6 to 12 inches of mulch that they're really weakened. So you just have to pull them out so easily in order to weed your garden. So yeah, huge win. At this end of the row, I had actually planted nasturtiums. And as you can see, none of the nasturtiums germinated. So the germination was a really big problem with the mulch. My beets, my carrots, like you probably can't see it, but there's just like the craziest, tiniest beets here. They did not germinate well in the mulch. And usually what I did is I actually put in a tiny bit of potting soil and put the seeds in that directly. And in the past, I've done that when I've had plastic, because my garden used to be majority clay while I was like building up the soil. And honestly, so is the problem the mulch, and that's why they're not germinating? Or is the problem that the mulch is holding a ton of moisture? So I didn't realize it, and I was watering every single night, and I would run my sprinkler system on a timer for an hour. And as it turns out, without realizing it, even though the surface looked dry, underneath it was very, very wet. And it's really interesting because I was actually listening to a Homestead Family YouTube video about how they're not mulching some of their beds. And the reason is because it holds too much moisture and it actually keeps the soil temperature cooler. So that could be part of it too. It's really hard to say. I do know that soil breaking down can be a difficult medium, like it's high nitrogen for plants to break down in, but I don't think that was the case here because underneath is actual soil. It's just mulch on the surface. I think it was the moisture. Let me show you some of the plants that I think are really struggling. So here you can see this nasturtium is really small, and it actually is a little bit yellow. It's not looking very healthy, and I think that the roots haven't actually got down into the dirt, or there's too much water. This is one of my squash plants, and basically all my squash plants are rather small. Yes, I did only plant them about 45 days ago, but they're just not catching up. The funny thing is that I actually had absolutely no carrots germinate in this bed, and I was so meticulous about planting, and then my dog decided to chew up a carrot seed packet, and those were the seeds that germinated. Obviously, I'm not gonna get good carrots out of it. This is also a lemon balm that self-seeded or grew from the plant itself. I'm not really sure, even after it was tilled. And these are Jerusalem artichokes that also survived after being tilled. So the things that are doing the best in my garden are the things that planted themselves. What am I gonna do about it? Well, first, I'm not gonna stress about it. I realize that I'm probably not going to be filling the pantry with everything from the garden this year, and that's okay. This was the year of the no stress gardening because I had a little corporate burnout situation and I didn't want to overly burden myself with the stress of the garden. With that being said, I am unemployed and I would have loved it if the garden produced wonderful vegetables. I'm obsessed with nutrient density for my kids, so that would have been nice. But the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna plant another row. I have another pack of carrot seeds, and I'm gonna see if that'll work if combined with the third thing, which is lightening up on watering. I've already been doing that where I've been trying to water less. It's a balancing act because I still have some very immature plants and we've had some really, really hot days. So I wanna make sure they don't dry out without being watered too much. I'll figure it out, but that's where I'm gonna go. Easing up on watering, planting a third row, and not being stressed out. Because you wanna know what? The best thing is to actually just support some local farmers. So I'll keep checking back in to let you know how the garden's doing as the months progress, and if I actually can get any food out of this beautiful garden. I mean, at least it's tidy. I love a tidy garden. If you wanna see if my dog can keep out gardening me, stick around for the next update. As a last little tidbit, I'm so happy that I have my perennial sweet peas and my perennial comfrey. The bees are insane. I did barely any weeding in this garden, and it's just so beautiful to see all of it. I'm actually like almost afraid to stand near it because there's probably 50 bees in this comfrey and sweet pea patch.